So now I want to show you some country ideas and incorporate them into a country song. The first one I want to do is in the key of G. When we're playing country, we're using primarily the major pentatonic. I talked briefly about major and minor pentatonic. This is the major pentatonic, or the 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 of the major scale. Remember, the pentatonic is the major scale without the 4th and the 7th. So here's the first major country lick in the key of G. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's that same thing a little bit slower. A 1, 2, 3. All right, this next lick is in the key of G again. It utilizes clusters and emulates the sound of a pedal steel. We're going to be playing a G6 type sound with a G, an E, and a D, and then move it up to an E minor, which is another G6 type sound, and then down a half step, and then up to the E minor again. Watch. You bend up on the E flat minor. That's going to be B flat, G flat, and E flat. And then slide into the E minor. Let's hear it in context. 1. One more time. 1. And this one's I'm going to play way up high here. Okay, that's the riff. Let's hear it in context. You can phrase that rhythmically different and it sound like you have more than one lick going, but really it's the same one. Here I'm going to play a little country riff, a country tune, and I'm going to utilize some of the licks I just showed you. I'm also going to utilize some of the blues ideas, the sixes and stuff like that. Okay, so here we go. Okay, we've changed guitars. I've put on my nylon string here, and I want to move ahead stylistically into a different area. I want to talk about Latin music a little bit, Brazilian music, and I want to introduce a new scale, the harmonic minor scale. First, let's make this reference to the major scale, the C major, and how if we start that scale on the 6th degree, or this 6th degree, we can have its relative minor scale. So C major and its relative minor, A minor. Now if we take that minor scale and instead of playing a natural seventh, which in this case would be a flatted seventh, or a minor seventh I should say, what we're going to do is we're going to sharp that seventh and make it, in this case, a major seventh. Okay? Now, if the place where we want to use that is when a dominant chord, that's the 5 chord, goes and resolves to a minor chord, either down a 5th or up a 4th. So in this case, E7 wants to resolve to an A minor. So I'd only play it on the E7 chord, or the dominant chord that resolves. E7 resolves to the A minor. Now if we look at that E7 briefly, we'll see that it's got E, G sharp, B, and D. And that G sharp is the major seventh that we just traded in on our minor seventh in a natural minor scale. Listen to how good harmonic minor sounds over it. Okay, let's go to the key of D minor now, and I'll show some arpeggios and some other licks just on the D minor 7 to the A minor, or A7 to D minor. So what I was basically doing there was playing on D minor, and then when it went to the A7, I'd play the D harmonic minor and stick that C sharp, the third of the A7, into the scale. You can tell the difference just between the scales. Okay, so let me show you a couple of harmonic minor riffs. This is the first one. I'm just going to play them without any metronome or accompaniment. And they're all going over the A7 with a sharp 5 or some kind of flat 9 or something like that. Here it is a little faster. Okay, here's another one on A7 down here. Here it is a little faster. Okay. Also notice when it came to the A7, sometimes I played these 6s again. This time they're major 6s. And I'm just playing them in minor thirds. They sound really melodic, and they have that Spanish quality that you hear on a lot of flamenco stuff. And I'm just moving them in minor thirds. You'll also notice that I played some of the blues licks from earlier. and incorporated them in with my harmonic minor scales. Okay, so I'm going to continue now improvising over a Jobim influence type song, and this is Brazilian. You can find the changes along with the booklet. Here we go. All right, I want to move forward to the pop vein now. This is a chord progression that lends itself really well to more of a rock type feel, more of a pop type feel. The one I've selected is more hip hoppy. The progression goes E major, and then an E7 with like a flat 5 in the bass, and then an A major 9, and then a D9, or a D13. It's a C sharp minor, or C sharp minor 9, to an F sharp 13, and then F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A major, to a B9 sus, and that's 2, 3, 4, 5 suspended in the key of E. Then it repeats again, does another little ending. You'll catch it. It's all in the booklet. Here we go.